Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Solana, double checking a few key factors here on the weekend. Now keep in mind, weekends have low volume, low volatility, or sorry, unique volatility rather. In most cases, more volatility. And in that case, what I want you to recommend is just honoring the ascending trend line. That's really what we need to talk about here today, because a lot of folks are trying to short into this. While yes, you can find some quick shorts if you are day trading, but from a swing trader's perspective, it doesn't make a ton of sense for this coin to pull back too far. Now, I am expecting Bitcoin to retrace to potential levels here at 57.5, 58.5. This is not a guarantee by any stretch, but we have some fair value down there, a lot of confluence at 59K. So we may not see a price point lower than 59K, if at all, right? And if that happens, keep in mind, we will see a slight retracement from Solana, but we have a lot of support in this previous resistance range at 135.50. We need to understand that that's probably going to be the new bottom, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop below some of those important support levels, okay? So keep that in mind. All that being said, we're still honoring an ascending trend line. What do you know? The trend is your friend, and you got to be nice to your friends, right? Don't try to trade against them. Don't be a traitor. All right, that's a dumb one there. Sorry, forget I said that. Let's take a look here at Solana the last 7 days. There's that liquidation. Majority of it has been swept. Again, that's just the last 7 days. These are folks trying to short between 136 and 140, essentially with their stop losses there. But as we can kind of see here, minus this $2 billion liquidation section at 138, we can see 1, 2, 3, roughly 4 to 4.5 billion in liquidation at the 140 to 142 range. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and update this. 140 to 142, right there. We got somewhere in the range of, come on guy, there we go. Yeah, we got about 4.5 billion. So again, this level is still accumulating, right? A lot of liquidation. So it doesn't mean the price just blindly goes up, but it does imply that we got to be mindful that there's more inclination for the price to go up than down, until we start to see a lot more of those areas to the downside, right? More liquidation to the downside. So that's kind of the overall trend here. So the trend is telling us it's going to go up. We got liquidation on the upside. These are usually two positive confirming factors, letting us know the price is more likely to increase than decrease. Let's look at other confirming factors too in either direction, because we don't want to blindly be bullish, but we also want to recognize there's some resistance too. 50-day SMA of 146. 200-day SMA 154. So we got a pretty significant fair value gap above the price action here. That's also a potential reality of getting filled. But the key takeaway I would say here is that we've closed soundly above this previous resistance level. That essentially tells us that we've broken free and we are more likely to continue higher. If you've watched my Trading University videos, again, those are available through our Discord in our premium members channel. Keep in mind, that's available for you. Please watch those. I talk a lot about identifying ranges, and the way to identify a range is, well, there's 3 different ranges. There's descending, horizontal, and ascending trends. And the way to understand it is that in order to break this descending trend line, which we've done already, we broke our descending trend by establishing range-bound activity. This is that range-bound activity we can see here, fairly clear. Again, I was just kind of throwing lines on the chart here, but this is generally the area, right? We had this low of 125 upwards of 135. So once we've broken free from that range, now that we've established a higher high above that level, and we closed above that soundly in the last 24 hours, that gives us more inclination that that level is going to hold as a support. Okay, and that also tells us that we're above the 20-day SMA, a good trend setter, letting us know we've broken free from some resistance. Only thing I'm not loving here, and this is the caveat, I guess you could say, is that we have a pretty strong resistance there at 50 on the RSI. That generally implies that we may not be able to break through this level here soon, or if we do, we need to get above that level first before we can confirm that we're truly bullish. I would say we're tentatively bullish right now for the most part, if that is such a thing, right? Almost there, but not quite. Either way, trend strength is good, MACD is good, everything's looking great. We just got to recognize that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, it's mostly just sunshine and clouds, okay? Again, my analogies are terrible today, but you get the gist. What I'll do is I'll update our fib levels here too for the moment. Generally, I don't like to chase fib levels on the smaller time frames, so be careful just drawing out fib levels every time the price bounces. But again, the larger the fib level, the more accurate they are. So if today's candlestick closes below this level, that'll be pretty clear. I'll post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here soon, just so you can kind of see it, just so we can get more up to date, but I don't want to take the time to worry about that right now. Having said that, though, with the current fib levels in place, we are above that key level resistance. That's the important thing to recognize. The 4-hour time frame, we look here, we can see 50 on the RSI, we're above that. We've been above that for a little while, right? So ever since September 9th, when we've broken mostly bullish, we broke above that resistance, we've been essentially establishing higher highs and higher lows. It's not amazing, but it is consistent, okay? So that's something to pay attention to. Our TSI looks good. MACD is starting to diverge. This is very standard on a weekend when things go sideways. So the key takeaway here is that we should expect the price to pull back a little bit, but I wouldn't think we're going to need to see it pull back a lot. You also got to recognize this is a weekend. So weekends are kind of funky with price action. Generally the reason why I don't love trading into weekends. Now there's some outliers where you just have to kind of catch those runs, but for the most part here, this is not like, you know, you're not going to be missing out on significant opportunities right now if you don't take a long or a short with Solana. I think that we are more likely to consolidate, and I would say if you're considering a long, 135.50 seems like an appropriate area. In fact, I'll go ahead and set an alert there just for later. In case I get notified, I'll double check and reevaluate and see if it's worthwhile. Ichimoku Cloud on the hourly does confirm that we're in good shape here as well. Bitcoin is looking very similar here, being above the cloud, but the lagging span is intersecting with the price action soon, basically telling us that we probably should close our long position in profit. Okay, and there's a potential shift in momentum happening. Now we look at that, we combine that with a 4-hour time frame, I would say it would seem likely for the price to pull back a little bit. However, we take a look at this here, look at this guy. It's a pretty obvious line there. Look at that. The price action rejects here multiple times, and now again looks to that level for support. So we could very well say that 136.80 is the new low, and that is potential potential support for us moving forward. So hypothetically, that is an area we want to pay attention to. Once again, this is a smaller time frame identification. Smaller time frame support and resistance levels are less strong. They're not as impactful. So you got to recognize that too. So take that with a grain of salt. But I would say in the as far as the short immediate time frames here, if you're considering a long right now, you might be able to take a long to the upside. But I really just feel like Bitcoin's going to slowly continue lower. That's my personal feeling or opinion. I'm sure I'm wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times, but if that isn't wrong, then obviously Solana should pull back too, right? So I would expect a minor correction from Solana, but nothing major. Let's see if this ascending trend line holds. A perfect point of entry would be 135.50 here in about 24 to 48 hours. Sometime this time tomorrow, hypothetically, we get a little, a confirmation right there. That'd be a good place to consider entry. Again, I would like to look there because that's a key level resistance on the daily, 135.50. Our local point of control here in this range, we got a decent amount of support there, and I think it's a decent likelihood we're going to see that happen. So I'll just go ahead and scroll this guy over here. No, we'll just go ahead and make a new one, and just hypothetically, we're looking at something like this. Okay, that's a better case scenario for us. Once more, we got to give the ascending trend line a chance to be able to continue to play out if it pulls back to that level. Okay, that's why you're better off you're going to find more success getting in there than you are now. Even though the price could continue to run, you might miss the opportunity. It's better to wait on an opportunity that doesn't happen that's higher risk to reward ratio than a lower risk to reward ratio getting in now. Okay, again, it's a weekend. Friendly reminder: weekends are not great trading conditions. All right, folks. I hope that makes sense. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to preface with this too. Again, congrats to our community members for some pretty solid profits here. Bitcoin 42%. ICP, we're still in along with that one. We're in profit currently though. SUI 84%, and of course Cardano. I want to mention this here though, because a lot of folks are asking for a secondary exchange because they day trade on one portfolio and consider swing trading on another. That's always my recommendation. So a lot of us are with Bitunix for either day trading or swing trading, and I would recommend a secondary portfolio with these guys. Phenomenal exchange. Awesome rewards. Use my link to register. Definitely recommend checking them out. They've been around for a long time, since 2011, believe it or not, and they're very reliable. So check them out. They are awesome. Appreciate you guys. And thanks again so much for the awesome feedback from my community. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.